Friends of a joint webinar series titled Digital Wellbeing of Teachers. This is a joint webinar series on the topic Effective Online Teaching Strategies, hosted by Department of Business Administration in association with Department of Computer Applications of St. Joseph Engineering College. Coronavirus is a mighty wind that has changed the global landscape in terms of how people lead and make choices. It's one of the most powerful change agents of 21st century. Times and challenges have changed, and so have teaching techniques. Gone are the days when teachers were just confined to classroom teaching physically. Well, not anymore. The information and communication technology has given different type of challenges and opportunities to the teachers. Well, I think it's appropriate on my part to touch upon the story of bridge on the river Chaulatika. Chaulatika Bridge is a metaphor for what can happen to us for our careers and our lives. Well, participants, you would have heard this or read this in different magazines and newspapers. Well, a city in Central America called Honduras, the government aspired to build a bridge across the river Chaulatica. And it was a challenge for the government. It was the dream of the government since last several years. Because this city was known for fierce hurricanes. And they invited Japanese engineers to build the bridge. Japanese engineers used the advanced technology to build the bridge, and they took about 2 years to construct this Chaulatica Bridge. And maybe after a few months of constructing this bridge, everything was going on well, but it so happened that one Hurricane Mitch, it struck the city of Honduras and devastated most of the bridges, and it destroyed the lives of most of the people over there. Around 7,000 people lost their lives also. And but nothing happened to the construction of the structure of the bridge. It stood intact. The engineers who built the bridge felt proud about it. Even the government felt proud about it. But there was a small problem. Nothing happened to the bridge, but something happened to the river. River itself changed its course. It found a new channel. It no longer flew under the flowed under the bridge, but it started flowing beside the bridge. So the Chaulatica Bridge, it became bridge to nowhere. The road leading to it and the road that was led from it were also destroyed, and the bridge became just useless. So, what is the learning outcome of this story? Many times it so happens to us that the problem will not remain as problem. Problem solution matrix might change very fast. Sometimes the solution, what we sought, can turn out into a great problem. Chaulatica Bridge, which was considered as a solution by the government of Honduras city, turned out to be a problem. So now we teachers have different type of problems. All of us know this. And the focus of the problem is, our concerns and issues is mainly on online teaching from offline teaching. Most of us teachers were really confused when we were asked to take online classes with the onset of coronavirus lockdown. And we had to take online classes compulsorily to complete the portion and also to meet the obligation on the part of the teacher's duty. But just tell me, how satisfied we were in dealing with online classes? How happy were we with whether our students were happy? Whether did we really feel that we did justice to our duty? Whether our students fulfilled their responsibilities, what they are supposed to fulfill? See, these are some of the doubts that we all teachers must try to seek answers from participants. This session on effective online teaching strategies must address all the concerns and apprehensions of the teachers during the present challenging times in bridging the gap between online and offline teaching. I'm extremely happy to introduce an eminent resource person whom we thought is the most appropriate to address the issues and concerns of the teachers. Let me introduce Dr. Vinay M. to all of you. Dr. Vinay M., most welcome to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Vinay M. obtained his PhD at JJT University, Rajasthan for computer science under Dr. S.K. Yadav in February 2019. He received Master of Computer Applications degree from IGNOU, India. Currently, he is an assistant professor of computer science at Christ deemed to be University, Bengaluru. He is serving in Christ deemed to be University from past 15 years. He is the coordinator of Office of Online Training and Examination. He is managing the complete LMS of the university, consisting of around 21,000 plus students, 850 plus faculty members, and 3 campuses. He is a passionate teacher, high quality trainer, technology tool specialist, EdTech consultant. He has received Google Certified Trainer official recognition from Google in 2020. Microsoft Faculty Fellow Award from Microsoft Incorporation in the year 2013. Nobel Researcher Award 2018 for outstanding excellence in the field of research and co-curriculum from RULA International Awards on 15th August 2018. His teaching and research areas include computer science, information and communication technology, gamification, education technology, multimedia, web technology, digital learning, IoT, AR and VR, and semantic web. He completed a major research project titled Impact of ICT in Teaching Learning Process of Higher Education in 2017. He is a Google certified educator, Google Digital Unlocked digital marketing expert, certified Microsoft Innovative Educator, Google Cloud certified in G Suite, a certified author of Book Creator. He has given more than 40 plus invited talks, 50 plus guest lectures, and conducted 100 plus workshops. He has also published 6 national and 9 international research papers in reputed journals. He has 2 patents and 1 book to his credit. Sir, on behalf of St. Joseph Engineering College, entire team, I accord a very cordial welcome to you.
Thank you.
Participants can raise your doubts from the chat box. Dr. Vinay, may I request you to start the session now?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. We are trying to give this glimpse. Fine. I think it was a nice introduction to the scenario where we are right now. And the situation made us one day suddenly in a March month, someone might be from your institute would have called you, flipping yourself from a regular mode to an online mode. All of us were maybe in the confused mode, or sometimes in don't know what the situation was and what we do, how do we do, where we do, and who will help us, and what tool we would have to be used at all. So many things was running in our mind. Fortunately, there were some people who are good enough to handle because they were into this flow from a long time. There are few who had a little bit, and then few were completely confused because of didn't know that what is to be done at all. This was exactly the situation of most of the teachers, except I think the doctors and the policemen. The next category who worked more during this lockdown are the academicians, or the one who struggled a lot, and then we somehow managed to do it. Knowingly or unknowingly, we started the journey. But later we realized that, as Madam very rightly said, that how much are we satisfied with that? Do we know the right tool to use it? Do we know the right methodology to apply over there? Do we know exactly the steps to look forward or maybe continue our classes? That's where exactly it was a situation for everyone. So I started my kind of training, or maybe giving an guidance to all the faculty members from the March itself. My first lockdown was started with when India got locked down. My first workshop started on that day. Conducted a lot of things, maybe enabled the faculties to go ahead. This helps me. I'll even personal satisfaction that these many faculties were ready to go ahead and then start their journey in an online mode. That's keeping in that mind. I'm trying to give you some of my experiences and some of the tools and technologies helps which can help you to give you an option. Just share my things. Just give me a confirmation that my screen is visible and my audio is clear so that I can continue.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Audio is clear and screen is visible.
Okay, fine. Thank you. During the presentation, at any point of time, you feel that you would like to ask me a question or your doubt has to be cleared or you would like to write something, please feel to type it in the chat window. If possible, I'll take it immediately. If not, at least at the end, I will try to take one by one and I'll try to answer all those things. Thank you. I also need you to actively participate in that, at least raise your concerns or maybe tell whenever I ask in the chat window so that I can also see that what's the point which is going in or out. First thing, a decade before, I used to show this one slide which I'm trying to show you right now. This one, exactly a decade before. I think even before that I started this. Usually in my presentation I start with this because I am completely a technological person. People used to ask me to talk only on that, but I used to do this for all academicians or teachers or faculty or communities. Starts with this. Using technology is the future of education. You won't believe many of them laughed at me when I said this. They were more comfortable on chalkboard and then regular teaching, or even without board. There are many people who are teaching it. Even in India, we have a record of people teaching maths without a board. That kind of a situation was there. When I'm going in between and then talk them, hey, use technology, start working on this. They realize that this fellow is coming and telling me something which I don't know, and I don't want to learn it as well at this age. I am already a teacher. I know everything, so I will go ahead. But what the result was, I used to tell them, see, the result will not be just immediately something goes to you. Slowly the youngsters will come up now, and the next generation of teachers who come in will always be with the technology enabled. And once they come in, they will not push you out, but they'll just slowly replace you immediately. So you have to move yourself. Otherwise, you have to get ready with technologies. But this is, again, I'm showing you after exactly 10 years, but this is a right time where it is not the future, it is the current now. The amount of technologies what we used in the last 5 to 10 years has been more than that we have used in the last 3 months. That's how the thing has been changed, and we started working on with this. Now, when the term comes to your mind, okay, online teaching, something new. We were all attending a classes. We were all doing some kind of a different people's workshops. We were doing it, or maybe some MOOC courses we would have attended as part of an online teaching. Or some of you might have even gone to Swayam courses or a MOOC courses, Coursera courses. Many we attended, but we never conducted those kind of a courses. Recently we started it, but still. But when those things comes to our mind, what is they are talking about? Is it they are talking about a technology, or is it talking about a pedagogy? Pedagogy is like a methodology or a process or a kind of step-by-step guiding what you need to be followed in the online world. Technology is the tools and techniques which will be adopted for an online teaching. Now, which is more important? Sir, I know 2-3 tools because somebody told me tool 1, tool 2, tool 3. So I'm good at that. So I'm ready for an online teaching. This was the mindset of a teacher. And some people said that I know how to handle my class. So I will adopt the same thing. So I know the pedagogy. So that's why I'm ready for an online teaching. But in reality, both are required. It is not or, it is and. Technology and pedagogy is more important. The reason is that I should know the tools as well as I should know the step and process or methodologies to adapt it in my class. If I don't know any one of this, 100% definitely my class will not be successful. That is the mind. You should also keep it open mind and then try to analyze and get a glimpse of what I tried to discuss here today, so that at least it will give you a step-by-step process to start with this. So I know some tools, sir, that is okay, because we have all heard and learned, right? And explored extensively in the last 3 to 4 months or maybe 6 months in January onwards, we have learned a lot. Sir, we were already using, many of them say faculties, we already were using a lot of tools in our campus, sir. We know this already, I know. But the reality required is that it is not just knowing the latest tools, or it is not, if say someone said me, sir, recently Geo Meet has been released, sir, I know that, sir, how to use it at all. It is not about knowing that how the geomet works. It is knowing about that when to use that and for what purpose I'm using that, and how much it will make a sense in my class is the most important things. That is why I always start with saying that, see, before I start discussing the real points, these things should be there in our mind as a teachers. I should know this. Then it will make a good sense. Because somebody is telling me tool number 1, I should not use in my class. I should see whether that tool relates to my subject. Is it applicable? And can I use it in this effective way? Do it. Second, look at the same tool as perspective from a student point of view, whether they will be getting a benefit out of this, then use it. That comes into mind. It should be very clear that, okay, this is where making me sense in using this is the starting point for you to start your journey. This is one scenario. Maybe first few slides may look like a theory part for everyone, but please bear with me because that is important for me to put a good base to start my content to discuss over here. There are people who started their journey a decade before, 20 years before, 15 years before, 5 years before. Our journey of teaching would have started in a different years. But a few of us had a journey from this face-to-face journey to an e-intensive journey is the one shift. There are chances that we would have started our journey with a regular class, but with this positions where I could see that this is a face-to-face. And then they would have started a little bit where there was one more halt where their ICT was started at this position. After some time, they moved a little bit where enhancement started, where sharing of a PPT announcement has been done, discussion forum started in an online. That's where we call it as Web 2.0 generation started. Then some more shift happened over here where online discussion started, formative online assessment test, online test under the term which came into mind and which was started. It is not recent, long back only. 5 years before it was there, and 10 years before also we had an online test. Then it was a shift. Later it was completely an online where modules, your delivery, your accessing, your moderation, everything happens online. There are few of us who have shifted from this first position to the last positions step by step. But there are people who started like this journey. Few of us belongs to this in the recent time. From face-to-face, we are doing it, and we never heard, we never looked, and we never knew. And suddenly one shift into an e-intensive directly without these basic stops which was there in between. That is what made the people to realize that whether this will be okay for us, it will be, how do we take out, is what running in our mind. This is what is happening during that time when the shift was also happening and the sudden shift also happened. Either way, we are in this world right now. I would have taken 5 minutes now by starting my presentations. This you calculate multiplied by 5. So that much is the amount content which is generated in an online world in every minute, every 60 seconds. That is 400 hours of video comes to an YouTube on every 60 seconds. There are around 243 photos uploads, 3.8 million searches happens, 350,000 tweets will happens on this. There are 156 million videos are sent, data are uploaded. This is all about what is happening right now. Imagine this is not for you or me. It is for even students. The same thing is happening. This much of data is overloaded onto them and all, and they are getting all answers. Suppose if I want to learn or teach them something, I need to learn and teach. But for a student perspective, you see, students wants to learn something from you, for example, related to a GST. They don't know what do you mean by GST. They want to learn it. They come to my class and I'll explain GST. It is fine. Suppose if they don't understand and they have 100 more resources for them, just go to the YouTube and not even YouTube. Just go to your mobile phone and say, okay, Google, tell me what do you mean by GST. With photo, with video, with explanation, with example, with a sample sheet, with the sample IT written file, everything is ready to access. What else a student needs? That is where the technology is making them. In this world, you are making them to come and sit in my class. I want to do an online class and you sit and listen to me. How do you expect them to listen? How many times we are assured that they are listening to me? They are active in my class. They are knowing this. They know that even if I don't listen here, tomorrow Google will help me. Tomorrow there is a YouTube to help me. There is another course which is used to help me. And there is some other video, some other content, some other book is accessible to me in the world, which is every minute it is getting updated. Then how do we expect our student to sit and active? This is not just in online. Even without online also regular we had this problem. But now it is more online. Because we are making forcefully sit in computer or a laptop and then shift into multiple screens. They switch on this and they go to other screens. Even it is very difficult to control that where they are, which screen they are. Bringing back them and then making them is not easy. That is what the situation is right now. Now, 4 things we should keep in mind to start off with our journey. Step by step, I'll tell that, but this is not the steps to be followed, but these are the beginning stage we should keep in mind to start with this. One, there is no magic I'm showing it today. There's only a digital tools and the techniques and the methodologies which should be adopted in our online classrooms, a basic strategies. But when there is no magic, then why are we talking so much at all? Sir, it is necessary that now the situation demands us to do it. But to adopt into that one, first thing always I suggest for a teacher community is that be master in your subject. Irrespective of which subject do you teach. Sir, I teach sociology, science, maths, arts, commerce, computer science. It may be any subject, but be a master in that. That means you should be the guru in that subject, as if you know in and out of everything in your subject. You should be ready. Irrespective of the tools what you are ready to follow, you want to use, no, not required at all. But I should good at my subject. Then you give me a medium where I can teach it. See, I don't need a board, I don't need a pen or a pencil to talk to someone is when I need it. So that much mastering should be there in our mind through book transferring, reading, research, do whatever you want, but you should be mastering that. It is not possible in a day, it is not possible in a week, it is not possible in a month. It requires at least a few years of hard work, which makes you master in that. Your specialization is more important when you are doing your research, right? Same thing even in teaching, you should be master in that. Keep that in mind. Second, learning and practicing digital tools is important. It is not easy to go ahead and then doing a lot of things with our one day experiment will not work. We would have done this, right, in the last few months, also experimenting with my colleague, my friend, and my family. With everybody, I tried to talk to them and then making this is what the feedback given by many faculties, that they tried it, they experimented, and they made more practice. How I look like in a video, and how will I talk to somebody in Google Meet or somebody in WebEx, somebody in other. What the practice is required first. Third, your digital learning activity is to be made first. What the digital learning is where I should decide what is to be. What is your expectation at the end of a class? What the student should learn, you should decide first. That is your first activity to be decided. Then your digital tool comes. Even though it is called as digital activity based, but first is your activity to be decided. Then decide the tool. Even now, before I show my tools, I'm telling you because you should decide first what you would like to teach to your students, and then clearly plan it and then do it. It requires a lot of time. Our regular class would have been even without preparation, we would have walked in sometimes, and then we will be managed because our previous prepared knowledge helps us. But in online, that much is not enough, because here is an all accessible world, and we need to be very clear, and we need to engage them, we need to interact, and we need to concentrate. Then whatever tool you use, you review it once and then repeat that steps, because that is a flow which we need to start off with works. Master in your subject, learn and practice a little bit, a few tools at least, not everything. It is not possible to. There are 150 tools are there for regularly usable tools, out of which even we will not be able to cover 5 or 6 in a month when I'm trying to practice it. So learn 1 or 2 at least for a week or that time, then you can use it as a usable one. Then decide which one to be used in which class. That is your practice makes you more sense with a digital tool. Then review that. Review is nothing but this tool used here, and was it effective, was it the result came. Then repeat more the same steps, master your subject again, learn and practice again, use it, decide, and then repeat again. Review. This is makes you a good full-fledged professional online teaching master you can become, and then you can go ahead with that. That should be clear with you at all. Now, which one to be choose, sir? We should start our journey, but which one to choose here? Face-to-face or online or a blended? Face-to-face, there is no way. We don't know when we are going to open it back again, so maybe another month or 2 months or 3 months, but that is right now no, because not direct way of teaching is not there. Face-to-face is fine. Online also we are coming a face-to-face, but it's not just the regular face-to-face is not there. Then second one is an online where your teaching should happen, your delivery, your assessment, your moderation, everything is happening through an online mode. Third is the one which is blended. Generally, even in a case, I think our education terms will be changed with the way 2 terms. One before COVID and after COVID. Before was different method, and after is cannot be with only simple face-to-face. It should be merged with online. We never prepared our students for this in the last decade. That's why we want to prepare them so they keep ready. Imagine if we would have prepared all our students in a training program in that last so many years, the day they join our college, if we would have prepared them with what do you mean by an online teaching? What do you mean by an online teaching? How you can attend, how we can attend. If you would have trained, you would have not struggled this much at all. That's where we enjoyed it in our campus, that much was already there with us. Struggling was much lesser compared to all other methods because we prepared them. If we have not prepared them, then this is what would happen. Now, which one to choose on this is preferably, even whether it is online, whether it is an offline, it is blended mode. Reasons, what could be the good reasons for choosing a blended mode? It's more effective. I know it looks like a theory part at all, but still it is important. It is effective. It is better than just an online. It is to combine both of these two. As well as students were more satisfied with it, enhances their engagement. Several learning styles of people are there. There are some people who looks at what you're seeing and then they learn. Somebody is waiting here also. Now what this fellow will show me in the next slide, that is what is important. Colorful things are coming up, so that is most important. Somebody is listening to me and they want to understand by listening, that is another category. Somebody wants to do an activity, let him tell me a link and then I'll open and I'll try to do it, that's another category. And then it may be based on their own speed at which they want to learn. Personalized learning is possible if we use blended learning. And finally, they are independent to learn by their own. Some methods we will try to follow up and we'll use those things in the classrooms we are supposed to adopt it. Now, you can use your chat window just for your interactions with me. I just want to know this. I'm asking you a question. Try to answer this in a chat window. I'll also be able to see a chat. One student is sitting in a library and he's referring to a multiple books, making a notes for himself by reading all those things. And he's also checking an internet for solutions. Now, this could be an example of which of these two methods. Is it a synchronous way of learning or is it asynchronous way of learning? And you may be using your phone or you may be logging with your laptop. It is fine. You just type in the chat window, so I'll be able to see that answers what you think is the answer for this. It could be anyone, whether it is right or wrong, doesn't know. Sir, we might, some of us are there who never heard about these terms, synchronous or asynchronous. Some of us are there, we heard, but we didn't know what is the meaning. Some of us are heard, know the meaning, but we never applied it. Some of them are unapplied, but without knowing we have applied. So that is the case in which it will be, but it is fine. It is, we need not to worry about too much on all those things, but it is fine, just fine. Few answers I would like to see you on your chat windows. Please do type it so that I can also see. Yeah, somebody started typing. Very good. So that's where your interaction starts with your students. Even when you're presenting it online, you can't make them keep quiet. They have to answer. It is right or wrong, it is fine. We are least bothered whether it is right or wrong. It's fine. You type it as synchronous or asynchronous. First, we should know that. Then only I can show you the tools, right? If you are all good, then I can suddenly jump it. If you don't know, I need to skip one step and then I can do it. Fine. Some people are saying asynchronous. Some people are telling synchronous. And that is where your work starts. See, this is what exactly happens when we interact in our regular classroom. Around 35 participants plus more, or maybe more than that are there, around 5, 10, maybe 40. And out of that, 4 reacts back. This is how the reaction comes. How do you make them more? Work is more important. It's okay, fine. If you don't know, we are here to learn that part. That's how it should be. That is where I said mindset for learning something new is very important. The more we hesitant and more we don't want to learn, we will not understand all these things at all. It's okay. The public know that I don't know. See, I will tell you, 5 years before, if you would have asked me, I didn't know what is this at all. 100% sure that I didn't know. But when I do my own work of reading, writing something, then I understood this is what is the reality is. That's why I asked you, okay, fine. Some of you know, some of you may not know at all. But that's what important to before you use. Without this, you would have used all the tools, but you should know what is important for us. There are 2 terms which should be very clear before we go for online teaching. One is synchronous, one is asynchronous. For example, now the session which is happening right now between you are somewhere, see, we are maybe in a different places or we may be in multiple places, but we are in an online world where the connectivity is happening between us and it is a live session. And this is already prefixed. 10 to 11:30 prefixed, date is fixed, and mode is also fixed. WebEx is the mode which has been fixed already for us, and then we know all these things. And then the flow also I decided. I know that what is to be specified or what I should discuss here, one after the other is already ready with me. So all these things, when it comes, it is, and both of us are in live, both are interacting each other, and you can talk to me and you can ask me, I can talk and I can ask you, is the way in which we do is exactly called as synchronous mode of learning. When it is live, it is online, and when it is live, it is synchronous. So is it necessary it should be an online always? See, even when we did our regular classroom, it was a synchronous mode because students were present, I was present, live it is happening. Live, the term comes as live. When I'm not doing it in the same mode, anything else it is done, it is asynchronous. To be more precise, more clear, just have a look. I will show you. This will help you to get that in an easiest way. Student interact with live. with a trainer, with a facilitator, and other students also, they can chat. Even now you can chat with others and you can see each other, and then that is where the communication happens, is asynchronous. And learning is scheduled, learning is at the same time, everything is, it is already fixed, and it is in linear. The way I want to take it, it goes. You have to learn the way I am showing it. That becomes a synchronous mode of learning. For example, I'm giving some homework kind of a work. It's not exactly be a homework, but any material to be read, say a document, a Word, PDF, any other things I'm trying to give, and all those things will be given to a student. He can do it in his own time. Maybe he'll open, I will give it today, but let him read it one today evening or tomorrow morning, maybe next Sunday, next Monday. Whenever they want to read, it is independent for them to read by themselves. That is exactly an asynchronous mode, in which the flow is also not decided. I will tell them chapter 1, 2, 3 how to read. He may read first chapter 3, then he'll come to chapter 2, then he'll come to chapter 1. It is his wish, and he will try to work out. That's where exactly the difference comes between a synchronous as well as asynchronous one. This is a live, this is not live. And both, the term confuses more because of the word used called as online. Because the moment it comes to an online mode, everything is online only. Because whenever we use the internet and we go on system with connectivity to internet world, that becomes an online. But in asynchronous, it could be an online. Students might read my material in online. He may watch a video which I have recorded already. He may be looking at some quiz which I have already given, but it is not with my present. My presence is not necessary over there compulsorily in asynchronous. Sir, I want to be present. It's fine, you can present, but it is not mandatory that in an asynchronous mode you should be present. Without your presence also, students can go flow and learn by themselves, is asynchronous. Now we need more specific tools which will be used for this purpose, will help our classrooms to get engaged and in a better way formats, or more precise way we will be able to go ahead with this. Fine, sir. Then what should we use, sir? What shall we start with? See, this you might have heard. Keeping in the time concerns, I'm not describing too much of all these things because we are all familiar with this in the last few days. This is what the tools which could be used. There are 100 more tools. Again, I'm giving you all this because these are all free. These are all available for directly usable. Anybody can use this, and some of them requires installation, some of them does not require an installation. Google provided a Google Meet. If your campus is enabled with a Google for Education program, if not, please do go ahead and do it. At the end, I'll share the resources where how you can do that. It is preferable to do with that. Even without that, any common man can use till September 30th as a full free. After that, Google for Education program can use this Google Meet for completely available online. 250 people maximum, and around 10,000 people with a live stream can be done at all. So many facilities. Even many of us did not know that till the beginning of a COVID that WebEx is also free. We were using this for all conference and other works at all, even for discussions we were using it, but many of them did not knew that it is also a free. This paid version is also available. Free has a limitations of 100 people maximum of 50 minutes. You can have a one session, and after 50 minutes it will get closed. I think 40 minutes now it is. I think 40 minutes it will get closed. After 40 minutes or 50 minutes, you need to do once again one more link you have to generate and you have to start with. But otherwise, it goes on fine. The paid one will give you unlimited number, 1,000 people, WebEx events, WebEx meeting, WebEx other things will come. GeoMate recently in a beta version available. Microsoft Teams giving a campus for everyone, full free of cost. Office 365 is available for you. You can go to office.com and then register yourself as an institute or a campus. You will get a full Office 365 for free, plus Microsoft Teams full facilities, which is almost features of all Zoom, other things are available to this. Even Google Meet has announced a lot of new features like hand raising, mute all, everything is also coming to that in a future. Recently announced updates. This big blue button, maybe those people who are heard about something called as a Moodle will be more familiar. It's a video conferencing tool for a Moodle, and within the Moodle LMS campus, they can be able to use this one. Apart from this, even teachers, some of us have even tried it using directly with this YouTube Live. YouTube Live is the one which will help you to do your own sessions live without anything. So many of us have felt that, oh, this is technical job, this is too much of things for us. Who knows this? Now there are so many easy methods. 3 clicks, I'm live, just like my class live right now. How did you join a WebEx? 3 clicks, I can live on a YouTube and I can start interacting. The general interaction will not happen because it only happens through the comment, and the delay will be there over there. But other than that, everything is fine. Even people started doing classes, dance classes, music classes, tuitions, and then student interaction started within Facebook Live. So many cases, students are calling, sir, we are a group of semester 1. Can you come live right now? And we want to ask you something. That is also happening on Facebook. So this is all for synchronous mode. There are more tools available. A GoToMeeting is there, so there even Airtel has released something called Genie, and there are so many other new things are coming up. That's why not knowing all tool is important. Know the one tool, be master in that, and try to use it effectively in the class is more important. According to me, even though 7 are shown here at all, the first two only plays a good role. Google Meet is more than enough for us to start our class and have an online classes with a good control. Then the Cisco WebEx more preferred because of a security and other reasons. Even Google Meet has the same security issues. Only thing was there is no mute all options, or controlling was difficult. It is coming up now future, then most of the things are okay. Apart from that, remaining all are exempted. It's okay. If you want it, you can use. Some are comfortable with Microsoft Teams, then you can use. Otherwise, it's fine. But remember, one of this tool is mandatory to know and start using in your class. So is it necessary to all? No. Any one is mandatory. You should know at least one to use. If you know one, you can use all. In later stages, you can use it. At least one should be clear. Now, what is next? That is where the one tool what we learned was synchronous. Another tool is asynchronous tools. It is not all tools. To start with asynchronous tools, you need a foundation. A base is required. Most of you are communicating to your students. One tool we used maximum in the last 3 months was WhatsApp. Whether we have a meeting, whether we have a class, whether we have a link, and maximum things shared with everyone was WhatsApp. But unofficially, WhatsApp is a communication tool for an institute, but it is not official communication. We have a groups. Sir, we are maintaining a groups like we have our student group, faculty group, student with faculty group, class group, staff group, and management group, and separately say lady faculty group, gents faculty group. So many things we had not to discuss everything, and officially and unofficially many things were there. But that cannot be used for your official class communications. Today you communicate something to your student, and after a month you feel that you want to update something to your students about the first chapter, then you can't send one more in WhatsApp. Imagine after 3 months, if a student wants to learn a subject 1, chapter 1, module 1, and topic 1 PPT, how much he has to swipe on his phone to get that video or a content is horrible things, which is not possible, which is impossible. Many schools are also started sending a WhatsApp notes, videos for a lower classes. It is fine because it is less portion, less subject, parents can manage, but not for an higher educations. No chance. Above the +1 level, that is after SSL, even on 9th standard, I don't prefer. Above 8th standard, it is not good to have it, anything related with a WhatsApp kind. It should be with an LMS platform should appear. That's where one of these could be used. Most preferred is the top 2. Either you can use as an institute level as a Moodle, or as an individual, or preferably as an institute level itself to have a Google Classrooms. Hope some of you are already using it, but preferable to have this tool as the base. Remaining all is optional, exempted. It's okay. It can be one of these two. If you have it, organizing, communicating with your students, organizing your files, having an effective class is the base. Student need not to struggle for every day morning seeing that what is the mail has come, which meeting I should attend. No, let it be in one place. Let him go through only one place every day, and inside that link is already there. He just clicks it. So that's been more easy, right? See, even tomorrow you have another webinar, you have to search, wait for a WhatsApp message or wait for an email to come as a link. Why? Please make one common place for students. This class will always look at this board, and that board will always have the meeting links, and for every subject it will come over. That's why you can have one Google Classroom itself for only for a meeting links. So every student will know where the meeting is. Next hour wise, timetable wise, it can come. Organizing is really amazing and easy, and all these things can work in your mobile phone. Not necessary you should use some other things. These two should be the base for you to start your online journey. One, you need to have one of the tool to communicate with your students. Second one, you should have one of the LMS which should be supported by your institute is most preferred, and you should have it with them. The more benefit you get it once these two are ready, and you can go ahead. Sir, I am individual. I'm not worried about other things. My institute may not be there at all. Can I start? Even with individual Google Classroom, your personal email also you can start using it. The more institute users, controlling will be easy because roll number wise, student name, email, everything will come in picture, and we can connect with them easily. I can react. If suppose Rahul123@gmail.com joins my class, who is Rahul123? Whether it is roll number is there or Rahul, maybe crazyraju@gmail.com. Who knows who is that fellow? If I use personal email, I will never be able to track them. But if I use institute level, institute email IDs will always come in a picture, and it's easy to communicate with them and organize ourselves. That makes your base step very clear. We are ready to jump. Now, what is the steps to be done? Sir, these things we have already done, sir. Some of you may say that answer, right? Correct? Say, I know this, sir. Already I have done this already, sir. I know basic, maybe a digital things at all. We have started with this, and then we have our own LMS also. We have done. We already use WebEx. We are using it for our class. We are using Google Meet, but we are also having our LMS. What is next? There are a few things we need to follow it up. Maybe I'll number it and then I will give it, so that should be the one. Have you ever thought that it is required for us that what should be the first good things an online teaching supposed to be? If you have something in your mind, just I'll give you a second. You can just type in the chat window again. Just tell me what should be the first thing before we should know as a teachers. We should be concerned more about this when we are starting our online classroom. That's where the strategy starts. What should be the first strategy? Should be in a faculty's mind when it comes to online teaching, distance learning, effective mode of classes in an WebEx or any other tools, whichever you feel it as. Feel free to type it on the chat window. Even let it know everyone, though that should be a discuss where you can find out. It will be easy for you to know what's happening in everyone's mind. At least few answers I would like to see, so that it will be easy for us. Just type 1 or 2 so that I'll be able to see. What should be our first strategy we should keep in mind when we are starting with this? Most of us, according to me, have neglected this. We have never concerned about this at all. See, one answer came, started with this online assessment and evaluation. We look out, our mindset is that, and as a teacher, I look for only what I do it. See, I teach, I assess them, I give them marks for them. That's what my concern is. Correct, fine. That's how what this comes to. Rahul Kumar sir is perfectly fine. What he felt, he put across. But we would have neglected some things else, which maybe, see, others are even not willing to type here, don't want to type, are just listening, not looking at the screen. Maybe some issues are the same thing happens with our class. Remember, the moment we try to involve them, the reactions from there may be rigid or maybe, I will listen, that's all. When you are teaching me, I will listen. That's how the tendency is. First thing is first always. Before I start with tool technologies, first thing is you should keep in mind something called as, which we neglected, is called digital safety and ethics. Very, very important for everyone. Who? Everyone means who are? 3 people are there involved in this. One, a huge community of students. Second is same equivalent amount of teachers as well as parents. All 3 people must know this, and then it is fine. It is, I know that it's, sir, we know all those things to keep our password safe, to do all these things. I'm not talking about only that. See, we made everyone, we shifted in a one flip like this. It was there, and see, like this, we just shifted into an online mode, one flip. But have you ever prepared the students to come into this mode? No. Ask them, hey, come online, come. Hey, we have sent a link, you come online. I want to teach here. Whether they are got up from the bed or not, we don't know, but we wanted. Hey, I'm ready today. You have to listen to me. Whether you're seeing me or not, you have to listen. That's where attendance we made mandatory. So many things we did. But at the same time, look at the other aspect. First is digital safety and ethics, which was very, very important for perspective from both the sides as well as parents. Why this is? You need to make them safe, confident enough to handle or maybe leave the online world is more important. Keeping that in mind, this is very important. Now, what is to be kept in those mind? One, they should be smart, alert, strong, kind, and brave enough in an online world. They should be smart. That means they should also know, we should also know it. I'm keeping all the 3 people in the mind. We should know, share with care. What supposed to share, what now it's supposed to share at all. Even see, before presenting, they will guide me that there are other windows which are open, will be visible to someone. We may be doing a lot of works in our computers. All window will be shared to the other person when I'm sharing a screen. I should be more careful enough to do it. My WhatsApp may be open, my YouTube may be open, my emails are open, my other windows are open. I should know what I'm sharing it. It's not just showing a window I'm talking about. It is also a file which I share it to someone. What is the purpose written for? Everything goes on online there. You should be ready. You should prepare them as well. That's very important. Then a lot of things goes on fake. A lot of things will come. Even battery, you would have seen that there is a send this message to 10 more people, your battery will increase by 20%. Or send this God photo to 10 more people, your luck will rise, start from tomorrow morning onwards. 100 things are there. You have won a lottery of $200 and you send this to someone. Click here to claim your lottery. All fakes. We should educate our students first. In the first year itself, in the first day itself, we'll start with this journey. Then it will be easy for us. And they will also be alert enough to handle our classrooms. Because when a mail goes in my name to my students, and from where the source is coming, it is easy for them to find if they know all these options. Strong is they should maintain their secrecy and our secrets with personally it has to be maintained. That is where they should be strong enough in the online world. At the same time, they have forgotten which is called as kind enough. They are not kind enough to help them at all is what the situations are, but we should prepare them even in online world. Being a cool is very necessary, as well as you need to help someone who is in need of that is what kindness comes. Brave, where suppose you don't know something right now in an online world, I don't know something in that, try to open it up, discuss it. The one who knows it can help you. An IT person from your campus or a known person, a connected person who can help you on this is very important. Now imagine you want to go and teach all this to your students. Will they listen? Imagine your session is at around 12 o'clock today and you have to teach this to your students at the beginning. Already 12 to 1 is lunch hour, we know that, and they will not be listening. 2 to 3 lunch hour, after lunch also difficult. So when should we teach them? How should we teach it? See, first you learn, you experience it, you find it, you become master, then you give it to your student is possible. To make this more effectively, Google has created one program called as the Internet Awesome Program, and it is preparing them for play safe, learn safe, and stay safe. And to give you a glimpse of all this, they have prepared a program. This program has got a full-fledged book, full-fledged curriculum, full-fledged activities, and a posters and the guidelines, all required for a teacher, parents, and a student is available inside this website. It's called Be Internet Awesome. You just go to Google and type it, you will get it, and it is easy for you to know and learn all these parts. And now again, teaching with video is no, people are not interested now. There is something called as gamification, gamified mode of making them learn. Imagine I want to teach them a credit and debit. Teaching them is say something like what comes in, what goes out, something that is old style. It is, they are not trying to listen in that pattern. You give them an online board where you buy something and you sell something, and the screen indicates that what comes in, what goes out. Then they will easy to understand. Suppose a rent comes, whether it is debit or a credit, I should show that. Then instead of telling them in theoretically, practically in the gamified mode, when we show, it is important to understand what do you mean by those concepts. This is the safety part which is to be taught first. Sound may not come right now with when I play a small video. Even it is sound, it is fine. Don't worry about sound, but I will describe that. There are different lands are created called as interlands, internet lands it is, and this is the game how they play it. When we play also go inside this is how cyberbullying happens, support is required. See, fishers are there in the online world. There are some more things which are powerful requirements, security, cyberbullies. Name a few or many are there inside this at all. That is where you need to learn it. How best security can be made. How best the online world we can live in the online world is important. That is the program which has been created by the Google, and it gives you a very easy step-by-step process which can be taken by you. Please follow this as step number 1. Become ready for your digital. First you will also get a certificate from a Google for your completing this maybe a game. To see, finishing a game, you get a certificate. Which student will not get a benefit from a Google? I'm getting something means they are all happy to do that and they will do it. Encourage them. You do it first. As a faculty community, you start with this. Play around whenever you feel it. Till you get it, don't leave. It takes hardly a minute to start it and then maybe an hour to complete it. And whenever you get it, not completely at the same time, anytime you feel it, you go through this. Once you get it, you get a confidence to tell to your students, start telling them, prepare them for this is the first one. Once you get ready, make yourself ready. As a faculty, as a parent, as well as for your students and the kids, you make them ready. You are ready for the next year. Most cases, what the faculty members looks at in an online world is second part where basic tools has to be learnt by you. If you know very clearly that what basic tools are required for you, which comes under a program called as a G Suite, and which has got a collections of Google apps, which is more frequently used, more easy for us to work on, and they have a lot of new tools also have been increased, and it works. Because you need to learn something called as, see, when an online world comes, assignments are submitted. Someone said right at the beginning, I'm more worried about my evaluation and process and assignment assessments. How do you ensure that everybody is not copying? Already in regular class itself was very difficult for us. In online, how do you control? There is no control with us right now. Everybody is sitting there home with laptop, with mobile, 10 mobiles they'll sit with, and they'll do 100 things. How do you control it? There are ways in which you'll be able to do called as similarity report or plagiarism reports are built inside these Google apps. That helps you to know that every student who submit an assignments, I will be able to go through that and get all those and find out whether he has it from an internet and how much percentage he has taken, how much percentage he has written by his own. All that is coming up. In future, I think it's coming up in the next level, but these are all things which are already available, ready to use with similarity report. And for my evaluation, I should have a pattern that's called rubric. The most talked term in the online world right now is a rubric, on which how do I evaluate them as well. For that also, I need a tool which can help me. Your basic Google Classroom itself can help you with all this. Along, that's why those two are the first. First, you need to have your own synchronous tool, asynchronous tool, digital safety. Then because already other things are ready, I can start with my Google tools. This increases definitely your productivity and work a lot in your case in which it can be given at all. Look at the few I have listed. There are many more. Even Google assignments are there, which will help you to do a lot good works, plus docs, sheets, slides, forms, and sites, which is the basic part which we need to get familiarity with all these. Without knowing this, don't experiment. And you see, somebody came and told me, sir, there is some tool called as Kahoot. It seems very good, sir. I want to use that at all. You want to use the tool, first get mastered. If you don't know these tools, you cannot use that. Because I know that you can use that as well, but you will not understand what is the necessity, why I'm trying to do that at all. Because even Kahoot at the end, result comes in a Google Sheet. You should be able to know that download that sheet means you should understand. An Excel sheet you need to understand means it's Google Sheet. So basic, I'm not asking you to become very good expert in this at all. I know your subjects may be different, your topics may be different, but these are all part of your work. As a mobile, you know that how to change your DP in WhatsApp, right? Nobody taught us, but we learned it because we want to use WhatsApp. And status, nobody taught you how to change a status, how to view somebody's status. All of us are looking at that because we are more curious to see. We learned by ourselves many things. Why can't we do that same thing in our teaching part, where these are all basic necessary for us, which is important. So start with this, sir. Where do we learn it? These are the links which gives you to know about what it is, but to learn about this, there is an 8-week program readily available. Each week you will learn one topic, and each topic will be for maximum of 15 minutes only, and it will be delivered directly into your mobile phones. So when it comes to your mobile phone, you will be able to learn it on maybe in your email. It will be there. You can watch it in mobile or a system or anywhere you can watch it, and 8 tools will be covered in 8 weeks. Start from today itself. The link is given here. See, teachercenter.with google.com/getting started. Just type this, take a photo, print screen, or with your phone you take it. Get to know this, what is R. You can even scan. If you have a mobile now, you can scan even the register, and directly you can register there. It's a free of cost, free program, 8 weeks. Every tool is, these are, see, tell me which tool is not useful for an online for us. First, when we started, somebody asked me an assignment, somebody want an interaction, somebody want an organizing, somebody want to share something. You name anything, these tools will cover everything. This is what we need to know first. A Google Drive to share all our resources. Google Docs to create our documents. Collaboratively, I can work with my students. I can ask them to write an assignment. I can comment there itself. Without, none of these requires to be downloaded. Without any download, without any upload, you can work with all this. Creating your quiz program with a Google form. Slides for your presentations. Sheets for data analytics or your result analysis. Google Sites for creating your portfolio, as well as ask the students to create a portfolio, share it with you. Google Drawings, mainly for any, sir, I don't have any tool to draw and share something. Process, I want to explain how the process of accountancy works on. Some things I want to specify, or maybe a computer science fellow want to do, or geography you want to explain, or sociology, psychology. You name a subject, you want to do a process, but there is basic drawing required. You don't have a tool. Sir, I'm not expert at Photoshop. How do I do it? You have a tool called as Google Drawing. You can do it, download in PDF, download in PNG, download JPEG. Fine, it works. So this is your step number, next level, where it should be a 2, where you need to start with these parts. Now we are ready, sir. Okay, now we have a synchronous tool, we have a asynchronous tool, which is maybe one of those two. As an LMS, we have it. On digital safety, we have learned, sir. Then basic tools, which I am supposed to be a master before I do it, is also ready. Ultimately, again, even after this, again, when I ask you, what is the next thing, what everybody wants to look at? They all say, sir, whatever it may be, we will look at our presentation, sir. How do I prepare my PPT? That's where our mind goes, right? Ultimately, we come back with all these things that should be involved in our class, but still, additionally, we will use something which is our presentation tools. How effectively I present makes a lot good sense. However it may be, I can use a simple white color text and then a white color screen and a black text. I can type it and I can present it. But how more effectively I can do is, they will be attracted. That's why I said 3 kinds of students sits in our class. One who looks at my exact, even in my class, it happens in your class also. One who looks at your PowerPoint presentation, any kind of, not only PowerPoint, any presentation you showed, they look at what this fellow is using, which photo he uses, which font he uses, which color. That attracts them a lot. By that picture itself, they learn a lot. That's one. Second, they listen to you by what you are talking about. They don't look at your screen sometimes. They'll skip the video part. They'll only listen to you with an audio. The third category who expects certain activity to be given to them where involvement of those are required. That is where third category. But first is always effective presentation. That is also should be mastered in that. We should know these skills. I know you all look for all those purpose at all, but I give you something which may not be very directly said by anyone to the faculty members. Sir, we want to prepare right now. Who has the time to prepare so much for a PPT? See, what do you concentrate at? Do you want to know your subject? First, I said you should know your subject. Then second, you are telling know the tools also. Third, you need to worry about your synchronous tool live, where internet is working or not, whether power is there or not, whether my data is working or not, or my examples are correct or not. What should I talk? What should I not talk? We are all worried about those things. Then who has the time to prepare these slides in an effective way? That is the reason where these four are minimum things you should know. In each category, I have 10 list. To get an images, there are 10 websites, but I'm not talking about a Google which can give you all this. Apart from the regular one, direct links which can help you to do these parts. For example, if there is a template, I wanted it. For example, have a look at this. Hopefully, slidesgo.com. If you just have a look at my screen now, see this is a website which gives you a free Google Slides and PowerPoint templates which will boost your work. You could see one which I used right now. What I'm using it's called brush background. That's what I'm using it right now, taken from the Slides Go itself. I am happy to give a credit to them that they made my presentation effectively. You look at what is required. You just go through here and it is all free. You name it, how much time it requires for us to get this? One click, just click, go and see summer vibes plans, or maybe see category is there. Which one are you taking? You're taking about education or a business or a marketing, medical, multiple. Just go inside that. An amazing presentation will be ready to use. See, and in multiple colors. See here, when I go here, sir, can I get this in this color? Look at that. Color, same PowerPoint presentation I can get in multiple colors. Who will give me that option to do it? And free of cost, you can download this. Just click here and download it. As simple, and it comes in both. Whether you want to use it in Google Slides or Google PowerPoint presentation, can be see all that you can see here. And inside this also, there only I need to edit my content related to my stuffs, and I can use whichever I wanted it. There is nobody says to finish or close here at all. All this already given. See, only we need to give a credit that specifying them that this person has helped me or Google Slides help. That's fine. That is okay for us to work with such things called as templates. Ready to use and start your work is important. We can do without that as well, but it works. There are websites like this and Splash to get your more video, images as well as videos which you want to use it on this. There are high quality professional, not in the Google one. It is beyond that Google, I'm telling you, freely usable internet images which can be available is only on this place. There are many websites, but one of them is I'm talking about. I'm just showing you business and work where you are explaining a concept and you would like to use it. These are all the images which will give you a boost in your presentations in a high quality level is this. And when you are explaining the concept, their mindset, that's why visual mind will go on this and attracting them. That put a topic heading for that purpose. If you use it, your look will itself will change. Similarly, you have a font where thousands of good fonts, good typing text will be available in the fonts.google.com itself. Then an icons are required. You could see here 4 icons I've used here. This indicates a template. This one indicates an image. This indicates an icon. This indicates a font. So I don't need to explain everything in a text format. I can explain it using some different ways in which I want it. That's your presentation tools. Sir, this is all fine. All this is mainly made for PowerPoint presentations or slides which can be used in Google. This is what we are trying to use it. This is the only we look at around? No. Expectation is gone beyond this, right? This was 10 years before. If you would have told me, it is fine. But till today, these are all the other template images, font icons are very good. We will try to help and use it. It's a good one. But now go beyond this. What is expected? But when expectation goes more or from the student is there, we also need to prepare. My simple concept has to be made. PowerPoint is to be understood very clearly. Slides, when we prepare as well, 6 lines a maximum, 6 words a maximum in a line. not more than that. Don't put paragraphs inside this and try to explain them in any concept. No, they will not understand. We need some different tools for that as well. I will give you example. Next one is where you could see that there are two things. I'm not sure whether you have heard it or not. If you have heard, it's very good. Go ahead and continue it. Those who have not heard it, I'm showing you two options. Prezi, even 10 years before we had, 8 years before we had this, 6 years before, people used F very much and then slowly came down. They did not use this at all because they came back to again PowerPoint is easy for me and they tried it. But using now new option inside Prezi called as Prezi videos. I want to explain you a concept where my video should, WebEx is okay. WebEx is my video is coming here down. You can see my video as well, and you can see my presentation together. But I'm creating a video and I'm presenting it to you where my explanation should come next to me. And then somebody should make a flow of this, just like the one which is shown on this image. You could see a lady is here and then one more part which is coming on this part, which is generally a text or an image or other parts. When these things are coming up over here and this is goes on flow, somebody is there to help us, right? Technically there should be somebody strong enough to help me to do these works. Who can help me in these parts? Which is generally a different one, which is basically looks like this. You could see here. 1 second. You could see there very clearly that when somebody is explaining it, the flow which goes next to them is very clearly done by a single person without struggling. In 2 clicks, you will be able to do this kind of video in a Prezi video. When you generate a tool, which is people ask, sir, is it free? Is it available? Yes, 15 minutes of video, you can do it like this with your own. Prepare all your slides. Can I show the PowerPoint next to me? Of course, it can come like this. Just observe the photo which moves around next to that person. I can keep talking and these slides can move. I can only control, I can only create this in a more effective way. This is available in a Prezi video, which is existed before, but video is a new things inside that. Some of them have tried, some of them not. Please do try. There is another one which comes over here, which is not sure where is that video coming up. This is another website which is a part of creating an effective way of presentations, not like a regular presentation where more things, interactive one has to come up and then it should come over here at all. That way it can come. I will show you a demo of that, which can open in a site and help me to give you an options. You could see the presentation window which appears on this, and it can include a quiz inside. That is also important, right? It can come like this, and this is the screen which will be a presentation. When I move around, see the way it appears. There is a small animation, there is a transition, and the characters are linked here. Each one I can link and click on that. I can go and I can present it. Works. And there is a slow movement, and the appearance which comes for a presentations is all fine. My part is not just the presentation. I'm just going a little fast on those part. My part is at the end, not only the effective presentation. See, video, you can include this, and you can do more things are possible inside this, as well as at the end, you will also be able to take a quiz. That's how it gives you an option. Look at here, in the same one, a quiz can appear, and I'll be able to take that quiz, and I'll be able to do that. This is general presentations which can appear on those part. I will be able to take more things, start working on. It's possible. That is where slowly it comes. When I click on this, quiz will start. I will be able to answer them on the slide itself, on the presentation itself. I can share it with the students and they can answer them. Not necessary for a marks. Let them learn it at all. See, I say animal, it may be incorrect. Fine, I will do it again on a plant. Unless they learn, they can't go further. And that is how it is done. This is one of the sample which could be made like this. One more simple sample which can give you is more interactive way of explaining. You have a chart or you have a picture, you have certain things which could be explained to them. Something like I just took one sample like an India map, which can help you in easiest way is like this. This has got a lot of points in which I want to explain. On the top, you can click here. It shows me which are all the points which are highlighted. Clicking on each one, I can know what is the food famous over there, what is the items which will be. Click here, see. I'm getting this. It's in North India, it may be in the Punjab side, it is lassi is more famous. On Maharashtra side, when I go there, it is all say pav bhaji. And maybe South India, when I come back over there, idli, dosa are the one which are more famous. See, like this is one sample. Like this, any complex photo, any complex process, any complex explanation can be made much easily. And it is as simple as this. When I would like to share it with somebody, I will just give it right now. And your chat window also, you could see there is one small link. I don't know where it is. Okay, in the chat window, I've just given a link in the chat window. Later, after some time, you can even check that, and it works very easily. That's how easy to create that in a website called as one which I use, which is Genially. So you can use any of these two, either a Prezi for a video or regular presentation, you can use it. And that is also possible with your all these to create your own. I use a template or create your own. It is all fine with you. Apart from this, use a Google Slides or a PowerPoint. Additionally, you can also do it something which is referred as Prezi video as well as Genially videos. That's how you can create effective presentation. You can share it with your students and doing with them is fine. Now, sir, this also we have done. What is next? Can we explain something, all these concepts, maybe more better things in a much easiest way, is where we call it as mind mapping. Mind mapping is another tool where the concept can be explained to somebody in an easiest way. See, this is how it shows. Colorful icons, explanation, topics can be done. I will show you one sample which I created, and it can give you a glimpse of how best it can be used. This is where I created. It takes a minute. See, same thing what I'm explaining you to today can be done on this part. This is presentation skills. In a presentation, you need to use a Genially and a Prezi. For an images, you can go to these websites. For icons, you can go to this. For a font, you can go to this. For a video background, with linked is, I can add a paragraph, I can add photo, I can add explanation, possible. And I can do a templates. I can do with this mind mapping. For mind mapping also, there are many tools. For this, video recordings there. For video editing, there are. So that means in a single screen, I will be able to explain all in one shot. So the complex process, when it comes, you should know which tool will help me. Sir, there are so many. Sir, it is not our, when the student says that, sir, it is okay, can I also create like this? I will give. First, I will use it for teaching purpose. Second, I will ask my students, please do go ahead and then give back to me as an assignment in this format. Let them create. It's all creative way. They will do definitely their own work when it comes to this when they're working on. How do we create? There are many tools are available for this to create. In single click, you can do it very easy. That is in Coggle.it. There are 100 more. I'm not giving you the one which you need to struggle, download, upload. No, all the tools what I'm showing you here is all free of cost. Premium is there, which we don't need right now. First, to practice with this, the free itself is more than enough for me to create. Second, it is no free upload downloads. Third, those tools only I've picked it, which can be directly used by you, which are like Coggle.it or Canva.com. Even in Canva, you can create a lot of posters, a lot of other things can also be created, but intentionally it is made for creating a mind mapping tools where your beginning of the day, sorry, everybody discusses, let us all put us in a together at all. You ask them in front of them only, you can start typing and then doing it. Works more easily with this. That's your point on this. There are more, number keeps on going. I will stop at maybe sometime, maybe another 5 minutes. I will try to take it. So later I can take some questions if you have it. Then a lot of other tools, other things can be taken and it will be useful for us. Next is what? We have got even digital safety is done and our basic LMS is done. Our other synchronous tools are also available with us. We have got a basic presentation skills as well with us. Then what is next? Beyond the presentation, basic Google tools also are done. What is next for online tools and techniques for us now? There is instant, we call it as instant activities are required for us, correct? I want to right now start my class, which can be done with the Flipperty or a word wall kind of a tools, which can be used on these. And how do we use this is like this. See how much time it takes for me to do this. I'm just taking some list here. Participant list, some list is this. Okay, some names. Just look at my screen what I'm doing. I have some participants name. Not now, currently, right now I did not get it, but if I have some participant or my student name, assume that this is my student name, I'm just copying that, that's all. Then I'm going to a website called as flipperty.net, and I don't want to do long process, simple, fastest way I want. You can do a very neat way is 3-step process. See the demo first, look at the instruction, create your own template and start using it. All these activities are instant and fast and best tools. Now, how fast? Here I'm skipping those regular process. I'm just showing it to you very fast. Here I will select and I'll paste all my student names here. And one click, I will get here called random name picker. Just click and see the screen which appears. In every class I use this and I make my students ready with this. How do I make alert of them? Whose name comes next, we don't know. I'm just calling them randomly every time, that so they have to answer. If they don't answer, no attendance. Simply we will tell them at the beginning, then automatically they'll be alert. In for our case, I'll just spin the wheel. See, look at this colorful things. Name appears, and everybody eagerly waits that whose name is coming next and who will get a question. So this is not necessary for a question. Just to ask randomly an alertness to find out, I can use this. Asking a question, I can find. Asking an interactivity, I can do. How much time it took for me? 2 minutes maximum? No, less than that. Just take a list of students whose name are available, copy that and open the website, paste it, click the button, ready. No coding, no programming, no download, no uploads, nothing is required. Just copy paste will work for you. Sir, I want to pick one single name, not this wheel, sir. One name I wanted. See here, one single name. And okay, Victor Raj is there. Now I'll call somebody as a Victor Raj, maybe another name, say Lal Ropri is there, or maybe some Rinki Jaiswal is there. And I want to give her the time for maybe a one question, 20 seconds I want to give. There is a timer. Start. So I will call that person or a student name and ask them that, hey, answer me right now. It's fine. This is where it goes on. Now, within 20 time, the time is also, everything is visible to them. It's fine, right? I'm presenting it. I'm not just showing my screen. I can show it this as well in this way. That's how interactive can be. Line up. It shows next 2 people name as well here. Who is next? Who's coming next? So get ready so that you can answer my question. That's how it comes. I don't need a time. I need to finish that. Or I want a group of 2 people in my class. Ready. Which 2 people works? It can be useful both online, offline classes. Group of 3, group of 4, group of 5, group, team of 2, team of 3, team of 4. 4 groups. Answer. Group number 1, can you answer me? Group number 2, can you answer me? Can be done on this. See, this is one tool I'm trying to show you. In 1 second, in 1 click, you can get this. If you have more time, you have 100 things called as feature tools. You want to conduct a quiz, want to see a demo, it takes less than a minute. That's why I'm showing you. See, these are all questions for each points. 100.1 question, 200.1 question. For example, world capitals for 200 points. I'm asking a question. This is the one. What is the most populous capital city in the world? Student have to answer me. I will make them as a teams. Team 1, 2, 3, 4. Whichever team answers, I'll click here. See, answer comes as Beijing, China. I want to answer this as team 1 answered. One sound comes and green tick comes and ready to go ahead. See, that 200 marks assigned to team 1. I can change all these heading, all these points, all these questions in 1 click. If I'm ready with my questions, there's only 1 click. I can change all this. It's just an Excel sheet update. We are supposed to do it. That much easy the tools are for. If you sit some more, maybe another 5 hours, 10 hours, 15 hours, hundreds of tools are there which can be made like this. Similar to this, there are one more tool called as word wall. You can just go ahead and then search and then take. I can't show everything's demo, so I'm just keeping the mind the time convenient for that so that I can show you more things in lesser time. This is an instant activities which can be done with this. Apart from this, there are 3 more which people generally use it. I think I missed the images of those. Mentimeter.com, Kahoot.com, WooClap.com. Many are there which we'll use for instant purpose to have an interaction with our students and answering them and then getting them. Always we do it. But this makes the class more interactive to start using with these tools. Now, sir, we are ready with all this. Okay, our regular presentation also done and interactivity is also done. Then we have activities, activities also done. What is next? What should be the next which people expect from a teacher should get ready to go behind online class? That's 5 things at least you should carry from this session. That's why I made it as so many number is there, but 5 at least I'll try to cover up. Now, your own video tutorial is important, right? Creating your own as well as whiteboard is also important for that. 2 things I'll show, then it will be easy for you. 1, many people find what tool I should use for creating my own explanatory videos. Not necessary you should always go live. Please, on an online class, nothing but always live is what everybody thinks. No, please be out of those mindset. You can be without live also. Your online class can be. That means you can pre-record it, explain it nicely, and then give it to them as possible. There are many tools. based on that. One is your PowerPoint itself is having a lot good tool. It can help you to record your own audio as well as video. Every slide can have a separate audio in one click, which is possible for you to go ahead and then try to find out is with this. Inside your PowerPoint tool itself, you can just go click on the recording tab and you get this screen. That's why I kept it here itself to show you. Record the slideshow, a screenshot can be taken, screen recording is possible, you can record a video, you can record an audio, and you can save the shows, export a video possible. That means it becomes as a full-fledged, ready-to-use creating tools. We have not explored this much in the PowerPoint. We always jumped outside a PowerPoint tool and then search for many other tools, but it is inside built-in itself. If you are using an older version like 2011, 2012 of Office, then it may not be available. After 2013, it is available. In Office 365 is 100% available, which I use it, and it's very good, and it is ready to use. And you can annotate it. You can stepwise recording is possible. Screen capturing is possible. Recording a sound, attaching and existing is all. It's always available with us, right? So already tool is there, means you can start using with this. If you don't want that, there is another tool called as a Chrome extension, referred as Screencastify. This can help you to give in the best format of recording your own screen, where it will be after you install it, it will appear on your screen on top here. Don't worry what is in the center of the screen. On top of the screen, I'm trying to show you, which is here. Just clicking that, showing you that where the option comes, you could see there. Because my video is on the other side, my video may not come over there, but otherwise this is the basic options of a Screencastify. I can record and browse, record a browser tab, only one tab I can record, full desktop I can record, only my webcam can be recorded, and I can use a microphone, and as well as embedded video is fine. After the count of 3, my recording starts, and there is a drawing tools available, and the system audio will also get recorded when I play sound or other things possible. When I click record and it is ready, you could see there, and it works. My video may not come because already the camera is already in some other place. It's on. It might not show you over there at all because both the sides I'm parallelly adding it. It may not be, but otherwise it will come. I can show you that later. What is the advantage? How do you get this into this place? It's in a web store. In the Chrome web store, if you search it, it will be available inside the Chrome browser itself, and you can search for Screencastify, and then you can download it in one click. Screencastify, and then it will be easy for you to search it and down. Already I've installed it, that's why it shows added. Otherwise, add to Chrome, click one button and ready. Linked with advantage. Why are we using this, or why not we using other tools at all? And this gives you even a limit of 5 minutes for a free. Once it is upgraded, you will be able to get more. Otherwise, 5 minutes of video at least too easy. We know that 5 minutes of creation is not easy. You need to create that and you need to find out. It will be good for us. Then it's a very good tool. It's a Chrome extension, not a software to download. It's just once downloaded on the Chrome browser, it will work. 5 minutes of video element. Privacy is very good. Video is not saved in their company. It is saved in our own drive. So it is with us, not with them. Google integration is very nice. You can share it directly to Classroom, directly to any other tools, YouTube, anywhere. You'll be able to share it. And easy to manage, and user insights are possible to find out how many times the user has viewed my video. All that is possible with this. That's how these two tools can help you in working on these parts. Still 1 more or 2 minutes maximum. Okay, next is, I think if it is sixth one, where whiteboards are required. You need to draw, write something, right? Many of us will struggle in even finding this. So which tool? We keep on asking the teachers, okay, for all these online, these are all the things should be ready, but what should I get ready with? Inside your Windows, if you have Windows system, you have one tool called as whiteboard. That is, you could see on my screen, it's opening something called as whiteboard, which is a software by Microsoft itself, which is available inside my Windows 10 software itself is available. No downloading, already it is available. I can just, and it is very smooth way of writing it. See, I drew some related to a square, it can automatically become circle. It becomes a circle. So writing is more easy when intelligently it works at all. Rectangle, I'm trying to do it, it may not work. So easily if I try writing it, I need to draw it. See, it becomes a rectangle on this case. And I can also explain here writing. See, the smooth way of writing here. See, the more smooth way I write, it will be easy for us to write. Process is important. I am trying to explain here. And one I did, I think you could see here, 1 second. The last class when I used was this, when I was explaining some mobile application, was the top one, which you could see this part, which was done. And colorful things are here to explain this part. And writing is more easy. good, fast, and collaborative work possible in this kind of tools. Similar, and it is very easy. Erasers are there, highlighter is there to mark this, colors are changeable, smoothness is there, and you have cut paste is also easy for you to do it. To work with that, see, you can move around this. Controlling is more easy in this tool. So while using this, there are many tools. One is Microsoft Whiteboard. Another one is Open Board, which is a Wacom board software. But we don't have a Wacom board. We don't have a touch screen. We don't have anything. Still, you will be able to use this in a best way if the software is available. So just install openboard.ch/index.en.html. It's a software, small one, which will be installed on your system, and you can use it as a whiteboard and writing effectively. So these two are a little bigger one. You want a smaller one. Then is the last one which comes into your face, which is a web paint, which is most easy to use it in a browser window. On my screen, you can use this. See, in this screen, I would like to write. There is a small button. I click here. 1 second. And I can show you one small window appears, and I will be able to draw it here. And you can see this is the portion I have explained you, and this is where you website which I did it, and this is the activity which I made it on the browser itself. I'm typing or drawing it. I can use this tool to draw here, change the color, and I can explain you in the format you wanted it. See, this is another one. When I'm explaining it, I can do it even this tool. So why the same screen can be a whiteboard as well, can be done with this. That makes you at least to know few things to understand that how best it can be used, all this. And see, a lot of things were there at all. I tried my things to cover up where it is. Yeah, whiteboard. Then not all these things, creating whiteboards. Yeah, hold on. Okay. I do train many people on this part, which is necessary for everyone, a school, colleges who to go on to a G Suite. That's the intention. I became a trainer as well, and that will help them to go into a G Suite program. If you already have, it's very good. The school, colleges who doesn't have it, please do connect with to tell them that there is a possibility to go like this. Even pass the messages, good messages to them. I'll be happy to help them as well, so that they can also go and use similar to us. It can be done. As an individual faculty, if you are interested to go for a Google certifications, I do train them and prepare them for writing an exam. It's a very short-term, simple exams which showcase your knowledge on the case where it will be useful for you. It is fine to go ahead and then learn yourself. Google tools knowledge can be done. Or master level, you want to do it. The things I showed you within the given time was only a glimpse, or maybe you call it as a trailer. Lot things are there. I'm also planning to conduct another one in September somewhere for a techno boot camps for teachers. I do definitely intimate the organizers. They can connect with you and they can help you to learn a series of days where you can learn hands-on with step-by-step is possible. This is what I share with everyone. And somebody also wanted my PowerPoint presentations. I will tell you how you can access that. It's not direct presentation. I'll give you all resources in a different way. This is my contact details, phone number. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm in LinkedIn, on those places. LinkedIn and Twitter officially I use it. Instagram is for my photography hobby. And there is something called as Wakelet, where I started recently to share all my resources to the faculty communities. Free of cost, you can access all the tools what I use with a link and with explanations. Instead of always sharing a PPT, you will forget and somewhere you keep it, you may not use it. So follow me on Wakelet. Just visit wakelet.com/search for @vinayam. Then you will be able to get all the resources. Not only this, many more are there which you can use it in a simplest way. I know 1.5 hours is a very short duration to learn a digital technologies or an online, but within the given time, I made myself as much as possible to cover up what is best possible. Either you can scan my QR so that you can use it for the next when you start, you can use it. And I do thanks the Slides Go for giving me a amazing template to use it in my slides. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to take those things. Please do let me know so that I'll wait for a chat window and you can see me on this. Yes. Any questions, I'll definitely be able to do that. Yes, somebody asked me for a PPT. That's a simple answer. Go to wakelet.com and then follow me at there Vinay M. You get all my presentations, all my resources are in a different names. Say somebody wanted certain plagiarism tool, free tools to check it. Sir, good fonts, where can I get? Good images, where can I get? Sir, where is the slides available? Where is the tool for recording? Where is the tool for actively engaging students? You name it, you get it. It's there already available. You can use all those. Any questions, please feel free. Unmute yourself and ask me, or you type it in the chat window. I'm happy to take there. Hope I'm on time.
Thank you, sir. This is Satyendra here, one of the panelists.
Tell me, sir.
Thank you so much for this very insightful session. Some participants have directly sent the messages to me regarding some questions they have. They have not put it in the chat window. So I'm going to ask these questions to you. The first question is, how effective is Moodle? Can you throw some light on Moodle as a learning management?
Definitely. Okay, fine. See, the Moodle is a LMS, learning management system, created by a free and open source software community, FOSS, and it was generally it was created for a community for schools and high school levels, but later it has been used by all colleges. We are using at Christ University from last 13 years. We are using that, maybe 14 years. We are using that, and it is very effective and it is good to use. As a teacher, my basic resource requirement will be to share all my resources to my students. One, and also I want to know the assignments and collecting a quiz and conducting something from a student. That's a two perspective. What every faculty needs to use a Moodle with them is what is required. Maybe what is requirement is one of the person from your institute must be dedicated to sit for Moodle management. It cannot be done by a faculty member. As a faculty, I cannot do the management of all this, mapping my subject, allowing the students enrollment over there is not possible. One person who is an admin or IT or some faculty who is dedicated for this to managing this, if they are present at campus, Moodle is very effective and it is very good as well. It is hosted, it should be hosted in your own university or in your own institute or in your own campus in a website, and it is redirected or a link to that, and it works. For example, ours is a christuniversity.in is a website. We linked it for courses.christuniversity.in is a website for our Moodle. So every student, every faculty can access it, and I can do that. I am the one who is taking care of that in the backend, managing all that mapping of all faculty, students, enrolling them, all that I will take. It's a bulk upload options only, but somebody has to sit and do it. As a faculty, no, they cannot do all these technical jobs of the backend, but they are happy to use in the front end. It is very good. It is for resource sharing, very good tool. Conducting a quiz, very good tool. Maybe for an assignment collections, very good tool. Even a built-in option is there for a video conferencing, very good tool that can be used.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I think that answered that question. The other question is, any suggestions for efficient tools for conducting live classes? I think the person is asking any tools that are available live.
Live classes, I think I have specified that. Any other specific tools? If they're looking, say like a Google Meet, WebEx are the best option for you to live conducting. Even YouTube lives are also a live options only. But in live, when you want to interact with them or asking them to talk to each other at all, it's always preferable. Use Google Meet itself, where you can give an option for each one to talk and have an interactions. It's easy. How do I integrate poll questions in Google Meet? Use mentimeter.com. I think I made an option instead of that, I would have showed that as well. So there is a tool called as mentimeter.com. You can use a poll option inside that. Create that, give the link to them, and it is fine. Or even you have Ooclap is also one of the. Kahoot is also another option for a poll. You can use those options. Kahoot, Mentimeter. I think I've typed even in this. Yeah, all the three I mentioned it, but still I mentioned it. Kahoot.com, Mentimeter.com is a good option to get a poll during your class, in between the classes, to know their pulses. It's fine. But if you're using a WebEx, WebEx itself has got a poll, and that's a very good and easy tool. If you're using a Google Meet, you have to use either a Kahoot.com or Mentimeter.com. That will be the good option.
Sir, I think you already answered the question, but since this question has been asked, I will put it across to you. How to keep the students engaged throughout the live lecture, maybe 50 minutes or 55 minutes?
Correct. First thing, don't plan your class for a 15 minutes. That's what should be there in our mind. 50 minutes is given by the institute to do the class, but 50 minutes is not for a teaching. 50 minutes is total duration. Inside that, you should plan 30 to 40 minutes is only your teaching part. That means our teaching part should be only 40 minutes. 5 minutes at the beginning, maybe just to have a casual talk and to start your class. Give a base, maybe a story, maybe a joke, or maybe a news, maybe a resources. What is the first thing to start your class? During your class, don't monotonously go with the PowerPoint presentations or just to show your videos or other things at all. In between, you stop and a question. First, start with a chat window to react back. You will know that how the pulse is, how much will react. Second, use a Mentimeter, a Kahoot, or some other activities to give them that, so that, see, like that, there are so many. Slido.com is there, Peer Deck is there. So many of those tools will help you to make them engage during our classes. It should be the more I have learned it for today, 3 hours of I have prepared, and you have to listen to me. If that mindset, if we go, it may not be a useful option. So keep that mind. We need to even look when you are sitting in my session as well, 1.5 hours. If you want to sit it, is it really engaging? Is it really useful? How do you find how in between I ask how the reaction comes? Similarly, you have to maintain that so that it will be helpful for you to work on. So the interaction all depends on our subjects as well, but all the tools what I showed you, try to use those, which will be definitely helpful for you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. One more question has just come in. I will just read this question for you. Are these tools that you mentioned, whiteboard, OpenBoard, and web paint, are these open source?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Whiteboard is free of cost. It is not open source. It is a free of cost tool which is available inside Windows 10. All Windows 10 machines, whichever is available in the world, will have the built-in option called as whiteboard. If it is not there, just go to your taskbar, right-click, and then search whiteboard or type it. Even in Cortana helps you, or just type the Windows button. Press the Windows button and type whiteboard. You will get a whiteboard. Open boards are a softwares actually made for Wacom boards, which is a touch screen boards which are used in an industry, but that is a software, is an open source software. And web paint is a free software, open source software, which is available as a browser extension. Yes, all three what I showed you is free and open.
Thank you, sir. These are the questions that I had. These are the participants' questions that had directly come to me. So I think you have covered almost everything. And on a personal note, I would like to say that I have also been handling online classes for past 2 years. And this session has been a real eye-opener. You have opened up a lot of avenues, and I am excited to try out all these options.
Yes,
Sir, on behalf, yeah,
ultimately,
yes,
I request all of you to do that only. See, try at least one in a week. For a month, maximum 4 we want. See, at least on a Sunday or a Saturday, you take your own time and then try to search that and try to learn something new. See, every day, if somebody says a new app has come, we will try. New option has come in mobile, we'll try. Similarly, you try this, it works. Because whenever in future time comes, we will be able to have a more detailed classes for all these things. But as of right now, this is the one. And there are some more people who said that they started following me on. Thank you so much. And then anytime you feel free to contact, happy to help you. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share my experience and then my knowledge with all of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, sir. And as you rightly said, we have to keep on practicing. Only then we will get this right. Otherwise, if we just listen, it may not be of any use. So, sir, on behalf of the entire team here at St. Joseph Engineering College, I would like to thank you for delivering this session on effective online teaching strategies. This is the first webinar of our series on digital well-being of teachers. And you have been very helpful, and you readily accepted the invitation and took time out of your busy schedule to be with us here this morning. I would like to thank you once again, and we look forward to more cooperation from you in the days to come.
Yes, sir, sure. Anytime. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes. And a note to all the participants, the feedback link will be sent to your registered email IDs as soon as the webinar finishes. Please key in your feedback and submit it so that we can have better sessions in the future. And your participation certificates will be again sent to your email IDs. And I think we are almost now 11:30. We crossed 3 minutes. So on this note, I would like to thank Dr. Vinay for being with us this morning and helping us with this insightful session. And I would also like to thank all the participants for attending this very useful session. And with this, we will conclude. Thank you so much.
Thank you.